Hi, and welcome to Libby Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our paranormal news and discussion, and we're going to be talking about one of the TV shows that you guys see. Features a famous family, I would say, the Osbournes, and we're going to talk about their TV show, I Want to Believe. I know they've got like 3 out now, or 2 or 3. I think they have one called Osbournes Night of Terrors. It's out. I think there's another one. But in this case, this is the evidence show, evidence revealed, or evidence...
It's kind of like a paranormal club.
But with their kind of twist.
Mixed with Mystery Science Theater 3000.
A little bit, yes. So, the Osbournes, I Want to Believe. Mike, do you believe in the Osbournes?
So, I watched one episode. I actually watched it 2 nights ago. It was episode 5. And going into it, just because I knew because I saw some of the stuff they took from Paranormal Club on camera, and I'm not a huge fan of that show just because the material sucks, the critics suck. So I was kind of skeptical about, it's basically the same show, just with, instead of having these, people that are in the paranormal field, you have 2 people, obviously the Osbournes that aren't in the paranormal field, they're kind of critiquing the show, and Jack kind of presents them the video to see, do you think this is real? Do you think it's fake? And, going into it, I was like, oh, all right, here we go, but believe it or not, like, Ozzy and Sharon are very skeptical. Mm-hmm. And some of these videos, they, like, really lean into it. Ozzy just, he's always been that way, but no fucks given. I kind of was just like, it made me want to watch more. Because the same shit that I watch when I'm yelling at the damn TV screen, they're saying it. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, all right, cool, Which goes to show the people that are on Paranormal Club on camera, these so-called experts, aren't so expert. Because you have Sharon and Ozzy that have nothing to do with the paranormal field, and they're questioning it. They're like, no, well, it could be this, or it could be this, or, the one I saw was, it was one where it was it wasn't Loch Ness Monster, it was somewhere else. And you see like this thing poke up and kind of like go back under. And they reference it to the size of the boat. And Sharon pretty much just flat out said like, well, how do you know it's not something that's being pulled by a string? Yeah. From another boat that you don't see on camera. And I'm like,
you don't?
It can absolutely be that, And it was just, Ozzy came out with something which kind of blew my mind. Was
It's more coherent than I've ever heard of him.
Oh my God. It was this UFO video that they were showing, and he comes out and he says, oh, it's ball lightning. And I'm like, what? Like, I would have never thought you would even think of like saying that, but I'm like, finally, like somebody calls it for what it is, and
yeah.
I thought it was pretty interesting. It was, like I said, it's about time that somebody's watching this. Like, obviously Jack is coming in believing majority of it, you know. But then you have his parents that are just like, nah, doesn't impress me. Just doesn't do it for me. So that's, I thought it was an interesting twist on it. So
I agree. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to come on here and tear the show apart. So like, here's another bullshit thing.
Right.
But, no, I feel like, sometimes I feel like Sharon's there because she's there, because it's in her house. This is the perfect show for COVID.
100%.
In a COVID world,
yeah.
this worked really well because it gave the network something to put content out under the constraints of quarantine and stuff like that. So it was nice to see something fresh and something new. Yeah. And, we're all watching these fucking videos online. We've seen these videos of the alien child walking down the driveway, which, Ozzy's like, no, that's a fucking kid. It's a weird-ass kid, like, that's it. It's a weird-ass kid with underwear on his head. And they're like, Jack's like, but people don't walk like that. I'm like, they don't know Dylan, first of all. Because Dylan walks like that all the time.
You walk like that sometimes. You like wave walk.
That's my South Park Osama bin Laden walk. So yeah, they're more real about it than I thought they would. Yeah. Sometimes Sharon's reasons, like I watched the first episode, actually literally just before we filmed I watched it, and they're talking about the footage that the Pentagon released of UFOs.
Okay.
And Sharon's like, how do I know they're not how do I know that the military's not fucking with us? How do I know it's not a bug on the camera? I'm like, it's flying like they're going how fast to keep this plane up in the air?
Right,
These fighter jets up in the air. So it's like I don't think they're out there with a remote control trying to keep up, you know.
Right.
So I mean, I thought I was like, it's a little bit of a stretch, Sharon. I'm not saying it's aliens. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely something.
It's definitely aliens.
It's definitely aliens. Hold on. But yeah, so I don't know. It was a good show.
I
like it more than I
agree.
thought.
I was very entertained by it. I love the fact that Ozzy is like the voice of reason.
Yeah.
And
This is a guy who eats bat heads for fun.
Seriously.
And he's like, no.
and for nostalgia, like I hate reality TV, like anything for reality TV. But I loved the Osbournes when it was on. And this was like watching an episode of the Osbournes. You know, they're bickering about the dog. And like, you know, and I love that part.
That Robert the doll that they had. The fucking. Did you see that? They had a recreate a puppet of Robert.
I only watched.
They had a fucking reproduction of Robert the doll, and Jack and Ozzy's like, get that fucking thing away from me! It's haunted. It's bad luck.
I watched the whole season.
Oh, you watched
all
the
eight,
whole season?
all 8 episodes. And what I thought was interesting, Ozzy in a couple of different episodes alludes to things that he's experienced in the past, but won't talk about them.
Right.
Like at one point they were talking about the Ouija board. He's like, I messed with the
I
Ouija
saw
board.
that, yeah.
He's like, I don't want to talk
I don't know
about it.
about.
I was in a seance one. I don't want to talk about it. So like he had some shit go down, I think, but he doesn't want to discuss it.
It's a good point. I think that was in episode 5 when we were talking about the Ouija board, which blew my mind because you have Ozzy, like the king of fucking darkness,
Prince of
right?
Yeah, cult.
And like here you talk about a Ouija board, is like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like.
And that's how you know somebody's
That's how
actually
you
had
know.
a fucking experience with the Ouija
Some
board.
fucked up shit
Yeah.
with that Ouija board, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree.
Like, I would say my biggest knock on the show is just the fact that Jack insists that everything is real. Like he defends everything a little too, you know, for someone who's supposed to be in the field,
Right.
be a little more objective. Like he's coming in like, I don't know if you guys saw the one with the vampire kid. Like I think it was like Belize or something like that. There's a kid that supposedly turns into a vampire. All of a sudden, the fangs come out of his teeth, and he's like, and Jack's like because Ozzy and Sharon was like, no, it's ridiculous. He's not a vampire. And Jack's like, I don't know. I think he's a vampire. I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah, it's
Roll it back, Jack.
I agree with that. Like especially like the one thing about like Jack, like. Cool that you're into the field, you know, power to you, but like you're just not at that expert level yet. I'm sorry to say that, like, and it's hard to say, like, well, what makes somebody an expert in the paranormal field? You know, yeah, you can have people that have been in the field for 10, 15 years, but they do it completely wrong, and they fake evidence, and they're in it for the wrong reasons, and that doesn't make you an expert. You know, it's being in it for, I want to say, usually it's 10 years is that's usually a pretty good number. 10 years of consistency, doing the same thing, trying to get the results, you know, and not faking evidence and doing it for the right reason. That's what makes you an expert. So, yeah, I mean, do it for the right reason, you know, like you have your name that no one else in this field has. You don't have to fake shit. Your name sells itself. If you went in there and caught nothing, people will still watch you just because of your name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Utilize that. Use that. And use it for good, you know, like.
Yeah.
That's
why Ozzy says whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Who's he trying to impress?
Nobody.
He's fucking Ozzy Osbourne. He's fucking
Exactly, you know, and that's, you know, but that's what this field needs. This field needs that kick in the ass. That's, you know, like, no, fuck you, it's not real, it's fake, you know, and this is how it's done, you know, and
yeah, we're not here to humor you, we're here to tell you the truth.
It was nice to see that,
Yeah.
you know, it was nice to see that somebody with a huge name. I mean, everyone knows whether you're into music or not, you know Ozzy Osbourne, you know the name.
You're not into music, you're into reality TV, and you've heard the Osbournes.
You've heard it, you know, and the fact that he was able to come on and just, I just, to me that was like a breath of fresh air almost, you know, with a lot of the shows that are out there. So.
Yeah, I know I'm more interested to check out some of their other stuff. I want to see that Night of Terrors thing special that they did for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that is.
See what that's all about. So, yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
No. Well, like I said, I've only watched one episode. That's all I had time for, really. But watching that one, I'm definitely gonna watch more.
Yep.
Because it's just, you know, I want to see what they say, you know. And some of the stuff that they were saying was just like, damn, like shit. I didn't think of it like that, you know, like, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
But, 2 thumbs up.
What do you guys think of the show? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, you can give this video a like, share, and subscribe. You can click the little notification bell to know when all of our content is uploaded to YouTube. So thank you guys again for joining us, and until next time, take care, guys.